Okay. Now we're gonna do football, which is interesting. So I want to go from each position, and then at the end, I want the best, who you feel is the best player to ever come through play football. So let's start off with quarterback.
And again, you gotta think about the time frame. Again, we probably talking. I got the Central in '90. Yeah, because Judah and them was seniors. Yeah, so from '90 to '93 or to my senior year is really what I can comment on. Uh, so Woontz,
Yeah, Eric Irvin.
you
Yeah,
know, it's pretty much just Woontz and Bob.
yeah.
You know, and then Duncan Purnell was the quarterback my senior year. But between Woontz and Bob, I would have to say Woontz. Woontz had a nice arm on him, and he was scrambled too, but he had a real good arm on him, man. I can remember when I first came off of football,
Yeah.
we was doing a little passing in the gym,
Yeah.
and he threw me a pass, and like I said, I couldn't catch the ball that well,
Yeah.
so I caught it with my chest, and like my chest was all flamed up and red. I was like, man, dude got a rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say Woontz.
Okay. Running back.
Oh, you got right to it, didn't you? You know, man, I played with both Fink and Royce, and they both very good high school running backs. Both very good running backs, and it's hard to pick one of those over the other.
Who's better?
But if I would say anything, just because our senior year and the load that Royce had to carry our senior year, I would definitely I get an edge to Royce, man. You know, they were both good. I ain't taking nothing away from Ping at all because Ping was a great back, a real good back, and again, I think they complemented each other. But just what we had to do our senior year, and you know, he didn't have Royce Love back there anymore. He had Tom Lukowski blocking for him anymore. He had Sanford Span, DeWitt Patton, Big Jermaine, and to see what he did the senior year, I mean, that would be the difference right there. So.
And then on top of that, he's also the Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yep, he was definitely the Gatorade Player of the Year. I think he was like the 4th ranked running back coming out in the country. The 3rd best came up to Wisconsin with us, Carl McCullough. But man, Royce had a hell of a senior year, and it's like I can remember some games where Coach Ian and them would have to tell the offensive lineman, like, look, you got to keep blocking to the end. You know, they would do their initial block,
yeah,
and they would want to see what Royce was doing next. You know, they trying to look and see what Royce finna do to the defense, and it's like you got to stay with your blocks and stuff, man. So he was like a show. He really was, man. So, you know, I ain't taking nothing away from Ping. Just what he had to do our senior year. You know, if I was able to see Ping perform the way he did by losing all of his blockers and stuff like that, and still have an excellent season,
yeah,
it'll be different. But I didn't get a chance to see that. I got a chance to see Royce do what he did.
Gotcha. Fullback.
Well, again, during my time, it was pretty much Ted played fullback and Royce, but it's Royce, man.
Hands down.
Royce was he was a man child. I mean, I know you had to be a man child too, just looking at you and seeing, you know, your physique and being in high school at the time, and I heard you was doing your thing. But Royce was just, he was dominating, man, and he was just like another offensive lineman out there. And it's like when they did give him the ball to run, he you know, I can remember a few games where he'd bust some big runs right up the middle, you know, and they probably should have gave him the ball more, but he was just a presence, man, that had to be dealt with. I mean, you know, that line that we had our junior, and then here you got this fullback coming in and cleaning up.
Yeah.
You know, Ping and Royce, you know, they just had huge lanes to run through. So, yeah, Royce Love, no doubt.
Wide receiver.
Well, considering we didn't throw a whole lot. Stride. I'm sorry, I was stuck on my 2-year Stride. Because I can remember Anthony Dardell. I can remember coming to games when I wasn't playing football yet, when I was like a freshman in high school, and just always heard, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Dardell for, you know, a deep touchdown or a deep pass. Every time it seemed like it came to the game, Stroud was either catching a touchdown or catching a deep pass. So
Yeah.
I would say Stroud. And again, we didn't pass a whole lot. So
Yeah. O-lineman.
Tom Lukowski, man. No doubt, Tom was a real smart player, and he was a dominant player too. And yeah, I would have to say Tom Lukowski, hands down. And Big Rob too. Big Rob played offensive line. He was just so dominant on both sides of the ball. But definitely Tom Lukowski.
D-lineman.
Now, I would get that to Big Rob. I didn't get a chance to see Keywan Short play, but just hearing everything about him, I mean, it's hard to just give it to one player. This kid out there in Purdue, I seen him play against Ohio State this year. I never seen him play at Central because I was still up in Wisconsin, but I just see he had to be a dominant player in high school because he dominating in college right now against some good teams. But from what I've seen, I would say Big Rob.
Yeah. Linebacker.
Royce Love.
Royce Love over
Royce Love.
over Adian, over Ted Compton.
Yeah, man, because he was just so much a present, man. Ted, I ain't gonna say nothing from Ted. Ted was the type of linebacker, man. I seen Ted have plenty of concussions, man. I'm talking about playing out there, and you don't even know this dude had been playing like half of the game or a quarter with a concussion because he was just, he used to sniff out the ball. He was always where the ball was supposed to be, so I guess he didn't have to know any plays because he was just he used to hunt the ball. And Big Adian, man, that was my sophomore year when Adian was a senior, and he was a big linebacker. He used to hit too, but as far as covering the field and doing everything, Royce was the general. Royce was a linebacker, man. I think he was starting before I played football the year before. I think he started with Keno.
Yeah.
Then he ended up starting with Adian. Then he ended up starting with Ted Compton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say Royce, man.
Okay. Cornerback.
Pachi.
Okay.
Pachi, I would have to say, because that's all I played with. Pretty much just with Pachi and Kroom, and then I played with Al and Killer.
Yeah.
So I got 4, cornerbacks to choose from. And again, after me, I don't really know a whole lot about a lot of players after me, especially at the corner position. But from what I know, I would definitely say Pachi.
Yeah, there was a few after you. I know, like Rodney Reynolds, and then Keon Jackson. He played at Toledo.
Okay.
Everything, but those guys came after. Yeah, but
right.
Okay.
Right.
Safety. This should be pretty easy.
Well, I was a decent player, man.
No, you was a great player. You weren't decent.
Get on to myself, but
we
did well, brother. We did well, and I mean, it could be a toss-up between me and Royce. It all depends on who you ask. I think we was both complimentary to each other, at safety. But my senior year, he didn't play as much safety. He was playing a lot of running back, and I was still back there full time. So I give myself, the nod on that. But Royce was, arguably, people can say he was a better safety, but I think we was good together.
Yeah. Who was the best player to ever play football in Chicago Central, regardless of position?
Wow.
Because I say that because I always do, like, off the record, I always say, man, give me your top 5 best players.
Right.
And out of the top 5 or 6 players that everybody named, your name always mentioned, but you didn't play both ways. The other 5 guys went both ways.
Right.
So that speaks a lot about you, that you played one side of the ball. You mentioned in the top 5 or top 6 all time.
Right. Well, yeah.
Because really, we got, of course, Royce Payne,
right,
Big Rob, and then we got Dante Smith.
And that's Royce. That's Royce's little brother.
Yeah.
And that was, that's cool to see that his little brother is in that same conversation with him too. And then, depending on who you talk to, when you just want to talk about a bunch of running backs, the other brother, Alfonso, could be, mentioned in that.
Big running back. Yeah.
He was big like Royce Love, man. It was crazy how big that backfield was my sophomore year. Yeah. But the best running back, the best player in Central history, I know this is gonna sound crazy because what I had already stated as far as the best running back, but I think Ping is the best player, and that's crazy because I said Royce was the better running back, but Ping was the truth, man. Ping, I would give it to Ping, no doubt.
Okay.
I would give it to Ping, and I know everybody gonna like, wow, you say Royce was the best running back, but Ping is the best player. Again, you know, I talked about those 2 different seasons and what they had to work with is why I say Royce is a better running back. But what Ping was doing, what Ping meant to that team my junior year, just as a player, you know, it was like just the dude. Ping got just like a famous name, like Martel France.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just one of them names, you know.
Yeah.
Martel France, you see it in the paper, it's like everybody wants to know who this Martel France was. So anyway, I would say Ping. I know I'm gonna get questioned about this. Like, how can you say this and then how can you say that? But Ping, I think Ping was that I seen.
Yeah.
Again, arguably, you know, right now from that point to now, you can say Keywan Short might be.
Yeah.
You know, that can be, you know, an argument too, because what he's doing at the next level.
Yeah.
You know, but Ping.
All right.